What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the 515 Sports Podcast here on the 515 Podcast Network. I'm Brock Bierman alongside, as always, with my boy Chase Winterbore. Finally hit the record button here. We went a good 3-4 minutes before we realized that we were not recording here, so that's my bad. I mean, this whole week has been technical difficulties on the 515 Sports Podcast Network as a whole. If you haven't seen our Hardwood Convos episode, go check it out, but it's rough, just to say the least. We've had so many issues this week. But Chase, my friend, it's conference championship week for college football. Some amazing basketball matchups. How are you doing, though?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I was up pretty late last night after the Cologne W, celebrating that, and be in Dallas this weekend, boots on the ground. So that's gonna take up a lot of energy, but whatever it takes, man. So we're hitting in there.
Gonna be a long car ride. Hopefully, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be a well worth drive for you guys down to Dallas to watch the Clones play in the Big 12 championship game and punch their ticket to the college football playoff. But there's a lot of other things that we obviously need to hit on. Conference championship week in college football, some amazing games in college basketball, some amazing performances in college basketball as well. But I wanted to start off by saying, and I don't know if you would agree with me, but the conference championship week for us, obviously having Iowa State involved, it matters and it's important, and we're hyped and everything. But I feel like it doesn't have that same feel to it in terms of specialty of like needing to win the conference championship. Because let's be honest, the Big Ten conference championship game, both teams are in the college football playoff. So if anything, you can make an argument that the winner or the loser is going to have could maybe potentially have a negative aspect or negative results because of that loss or win, depending on the situation. Because I think someone said, I don't remember which podcast I was listening that said it, but there's a situation where the loser of the Big Ten championship has an easier route to the college football championship if Boise State would to win and get that bye in the Mountain West.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But I don't know. I totally agree with that though, Brock. It just doesn't feel like, I don't know, a lot of these games are as important. Like they're obviously important, but like compared to past years, like if you don't win, like you're not getting in the playoffs. But we're like as we see in the SEC and Big Ten this year, it literally won't matter for them. But yeah, sorry, man. Voice is shot tonight. I'm with you though, Brock. Obviously, like the Big 12, that should be fun because obviously loser's not going to make it. I think ACC could be pretty good too, just because Clemson's fighting for a playoff spot. But yeah, honestly though, I mean, you could also throw in the aspect too of like in this Big Ten or SEC game, like if the loser loses, obviously they won't get the first round bye. But at least they most likely should be getting a home game. You would assume. And then also at the same time, like, I don't know, sometimes you see teams like they get a bye week, where it's like too much time off and they come out the next week pretty slow, just like not really playing with momentum at all. So, not saying that that's always the case, but like that could be an aspect too. So that's something to keep an eye on. So I don't know. I'm just not, like you said, Brock, I'm not really super excited about the SEC and Big Ten championship games. And I think I saw somewhere too, like the, like the tickets for like the Big Ten championship game are like actually like dirt cheap.
$15 is the lowest ticket right now.
Yeah, it's
and the crazy, lowest ticket for, which still kind of shocks me, for Iowa State and Arizona State is $39. But this is off of Vivid Seats, and the Big 12 is utilizing SeatGeek as their official ticket partner.
Sure.
Who knows what the ticket prices are actually on SeatGeek? This is just Vivid Seats from ESPN's link that they provide on all this stuff. So $15 for the Big Ten championship game is the least expensive ticket out of all the conference championship games. You got Western Kentucky, Jacksonville State tickets as low as $22. Boise State, UNLV tickets as low as $36. Tulane, Army, $20. Iowa State, Arizona State, $39. Ohio and Miami is the lowest, though. You can go see the MAC championship in Detroit, Michigan, Ford Field for $5.
Oh, man. All right. Road trip. What is that? That's Saturday, like at noon, isn't it?
Yep, 11 a.m. same time as
Same
Iowa
time.
State,
Never
Arizona
mind.
State.
Yeah. Now this is kind of weird how like the MAC championship gets to play like a neutral site at literally Ford Field, but the Mountain West championship is being held in Boise. Like I find that a little weird.
Yep, I get it. I think the Mountain West should find a way to get into Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But at the
UNLV,
same time,
yeah.
that's a UNLV home game. That's
yeah.
the rough thing about the Mountain West is there really isn't a neutral site field for them that I feel like would be great because there aren't any teams, unless I'm completely blanking on someone, in Arizona. So I don't think going to the Cardinal Stadium would be necessarily beneficial, especially because Boise State's always competing and forcing Boise, Idaho fans to go all the way down to Arizona might be terrible. So Vegas would be the only one that I would consider a good neutral site. Maybe Seattle. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
But I don't know if you can find a good neutral site with the Mountain West. I also think that the MAC is the beneficial for the good thing about the MAC is that they have a lot of Michigan teams in the area, so they can at least hopefully get that. But they're getting 2 Ohio teams this year.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
speaking of the Ohio and Michigan, the big story from last week in the college football world as a whole, not just in the Ohio State-Michigan game, was rivalry week, which, by the way, Iowa State and K-State, depending on who you talk to, is not identified as a rivalry in the college football world, which is unfortunate because I do think it's one of the best rivalries in college football that no one talks about. There should be a trophy, but enough about that soapbox conversation. We could literally talk about that the entire podcast.
Yeah, we could.
Multiple teams, the winners, multiple games specifically, not multiple teams, rivalry games ended and resulted in the winning team planting their flag and the opponent's home field 50-yard line, which resulted in multiple scuffles. Arizona State didn't plant a flag. They planted their like little pitchfork thing.
Yeah.
In Arizona's 50-yard line logo. What are your thoughts on this? People are like, this is bad for the sport, blah, blah, blah. I, for one, I actually kind of like it because it's part. If we're going to promote this week as rivalry week and the rivalries matter and all this stuff, you need this kind of stuff to intensify the rivalry. Because if it's just, we play every year, no one cares then. It's not. It's a rivalry, but it's not a rivalry that people are going to care about tuning into. Michigan and Ohio State may have gotten a little too far. I guess pepper spray was used to.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I don't know if was warranted. I don't know how far certain parts of the scuffle were getting in terms of intensity and aggressiveness, but I don't think pepper spray was really worth using.
No, that's what I was going to say. I think I was talking about that with a couple of my coworkers. I'm like, why in the world are we using pepper spray? Like, these guys literally have pads and a helmet on. Like, I don't think anything too serious is going to happen.
Did you see the USC guy getting sucker punch? Oh, was it a USC guy punching Notre Dame? Or was it? No, it was Notre Dame.
Yeah.
What are you doing trying to sucker punch a guy with a helmet on?
I don't know.
It looks so cool in slow-mo, though. But, what is going on?
You're not doing anything. Yeah. I don't know though. I'm with you on that pepper spray incident, Brock. That was so dumb. I don't understand what the point of that was, but
what are your thoughts on the planting of the flag idea or just the whole idea of these rivalry scuffles happening?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really mind it at all. I kind of find it weird, honestly, if anything, that wasn't this 7 years ago that Baker Mayfield did this, and why is it now just becoming a huge thing again?
You got to remember that the kids that are playing now are the guys that were in middle school, high school when Baker would have done this. So it's one of those things where it's I don't know. But shout out Baker Mayfield for being a trendsetter, man.
He's a trendsetter, so yeah, I don't know. I really have no problem with it though. I mean, I don't know.
The Big Ten fined Michigan and Ohio State $100,000 each for that scuffle. Oh, I don't know if you
really
didn't see that. Yeah, you didn't see that.
No, I haven't really. Yeah, I've kind of been busy.
So busy man, dude. This guy works at the bank. Shout out our bankers.
Getting people some loans, man.
Shout out our bankers.
Thank you, Brock. Thank you.
But yeah, both were fined for that brawl. Here's the thing that will upset me a lot. Is that they'll find it, and then the Big Ten will now use that footage for years and years and years to promote this matchup.
Yeah.
as
they will.
the biggest rivalry in college football, which you can make an argument for Michigan, Ohio State. I'll give you that. But still, if you're going to fine people for this issue and then
promote it, basically.
Yeah. You're part of the problem then.
Yeah. Oh no, it will happen. Actually, that's a good point, Brock. I can't wait.
This footage will be used next year.
It will be. Yep. We'll come right back to this episode.
Because were they on Big Noon? Yeah, they were. Because Gus Johnson usually calls the Big Ten. The Ohio State Michigan game. So he will call that again, and I guarantee you their promo packages will have this scuffle.
Yes, guaranteed. Yeah. It's all about money, man. It's all about money.
And that's the unfortunate world that we live in right now in terms of the college football, college basketball, just college sports world. It's all about the money. The new college football playoff rankings came out, and a lot of people are still upset with where the rankings are, where certain teams rank, certain teams being left out, who deserves to be where. I'm assuming you've seen the college football playoff rankings.
Yes.
At least a little bit. I don't know if you've seen all of it. What are your thoughts on the current state of the playoff rankings? Do you see a scenario where does SMU have to win to make the playoffs, in your opinion?
I don't know. I guess I didn't really think about it like that, Brock, but now kind of more thinking about it, they might. Because what are they right now? 8?
They're 8. They're 11. They're 11-1, going up against number 17 in the college football playoff rankings. 9-3 Clemson. Clemson wins, they're in, because they'll be one of the 4 top ranked. Or will they? Can you see? This is the thing about the college football playoff being expanded. There's so much chaos that could happen. Boise State loses and SMU loses. Does that mean Iowa State's the 3 seed?
I mean,
or the winner of the Big 12 is the 3 seed based off of where the rankings are, or does Miami somehow get the highest rank? I don't.
Yeah, like I'm not. I think I'm not really a huge Miami guy, but like, to be honest, man, like the fact that like Bama is in over them right now kind of makes me mad. And like, I'm a huge Kalen DeBoer guy, but like that kind of upsets me. I don't know. I think we obviously all knew a 3-loss SEC team was going to be in. We were waiting for it, but I don't know. SMU, like it just stinks for them because like they might get punished for losing like a conference championship game. I just don't think that's right at all. But like I could easily see it happening.
I completely agree. And the thing that's going to upset me the most is that if Clemson beats SMU, Clemson will jump to 3. Yeah. And the winner of the Big 12, who both teams right now are ranked higher than Clemson.
Yep.
Point that out. Arizona State, Iowa State, 15, 16. Clemson's at 17. So granted, they're all within 3 spots of each other.
Yeah.
But they'll jump, I guarantee you, over a Big 12 team because of their name. If it was SMU in that situation where they're at where Clemson is and Clemson was where SMU was, Clemson wouldn't have to worry about losing because they'd be in either way.
They'd be in either way.
And then SMU would be probably that 3rd or 4th spot.
Yeah, because it's SMU and not Clemson. Yeah, I 100% agree. A lot of this is just name and brand bias. So,
and I mean, the Big 12 commissioner has pointed that out multiple times this week, that it's about the logos and not about the resumes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, shout out my boy Brett Yormark, man. That's my commissioner right there. I don't know. I will say, like, I still kind of am upset. I know I mentioned it a little bit last week about, and I know, sorry, Brock, I know you disagree, but like, I don't know. I'm still kind of upset about how like a group of 5 team gets an automatic bid. Like if Boise State wins, they'll get a bye over like a Big 12 winner. I don't know. My problem with this is like, I don't have like, I obviously, like I mentioned, like I'm a huge Boise guy. Like I think this team is really good. I have nothing against a group of 5 schools, but like, I just don't know like where the consistency is at with like this committee, because like literally 7 years ago, we had UCF not lose a single game in the American Conference, and they get left out of the playoffs. But like now we're gonna have a 1-loss team, and I get they played Oregon, but now they're gonna get an automatic bye. Like I just don't I don't know. That's my problem. Is where's the consistency at?
Oh, there's no consistency.
Yeah, there's none. That's what makes me mad. So
I mean, if I'm telling you right now, if any of the teams that doesn't win a conference championship, Penn State loses to Oregon. If Penn State loses their quarterback, I don't think Penn State should make the playoffs. Because last year that was the whole situation.
Yes. No. Okay. Like that's what I was gonna say too. Is like, I don't want to say Arizona State's gonna win, but like if they win, are they just gonna get left out then because their best wide receiver got hurt? Like, is that how we're gonna play this now?
So I will say Arizona State winning, they'll be in no matter what. So
I know they will, but like I'm just
I get what you mean.
Garbage. So
well, let's say Texas. I mean, Quinn Ewers has been like pretty much banged up this entire year.
Yeah, take Texas.
Let's say he gets hurt, they lose. You got to leave him out. Sorry, I don't care that Arch Manning's grandson is playing for Texas.
Yeah, based off of last year, right? Yeah, that's the thing is there's just no consistency. This committee is just it's bad.
And their excuse now is, well, it's expanded so we can allow more teams in.
We can allow more 3-loss SEC teams in. Yes. Yeah.
It's just unfortunate.
It's bad.
Dude, I'm telling you, Boise State. I'm trying
I have nothing against Boise. I think they're a great football team. I really do. I'm just more upset of like how a group of 5 team gets in over a Big 12 team because that's never.
If they win by one possession, I could see where a Big 12 team jumps them against UNLV.
Yeah.
If they win by 20 plus in their own conference championship game, I do think I could. If they win by 20 plus, me personally and other people, like, you're entitled to your own opinion, but like I personally don't think there's a part of me that could be like they don't deserve the top 4 spot just because of how dominant they've been. Even with the competition that they played has not been the greatest. The one team that they did play that had a really good pulse, they're obviously the pound for pound probably the best football team in the college football world right now in Oregon, played them down to one possession. So
yeah,
that's my only argument.
I think Boise's great. Obviously, I really think they're a great team. I just don't get the committee's consistency. That's all I'm saying. So,
yeah. So, but here's the thing: Boise State loses two 2-loss teams in the Mountain West.
Yeah,
Army wins the American. So is Army in because they only have one loss? Or are they going to leave them out because they realize that their scheme of football probably won't translate over to the playoffs?
I don't know. I have a feeling too that the committee already has a bracket made, and
they have a bracket for every scenario already, and they're not going to change it.
I don't feel like which is very unfortunate for Army, but yeah, it would not surprise me if Army wins and like you see UNLV win, and
I think if UNLV wins, they're in. Which shout out me for thinking that UNLV was going to be sneaky good this year, but
UNLV, they're very good team.
It's going to be a headache to understand all these moves because they're obviously conference championship teams. You can't argue about where they're going to go. You can't argue that the 5 top-ranked conference championship teams are going to make it. You can argue about who of the 5 is ranked where, which is going to be one of the headaches that people are going to have when trying to figure out why the committee went the way that they went. Because just because you're the 5th highest ranked conference championship team doesn't mean you have to be 12.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I don't understand either. Why are we punishing a conference for winning or a team winning their conference championship and you get the last seed? Like what?
I think it should be the not necessarily the 5th seed, but like if you win the conference championship, you should be able to host one home game.
Yes, that's what I don't know. I think I really miss the BCS era, Brock. I really do, man. This is
it's our fault.
Yeah,
it's Iowa State Iowa State's fault.
Iowa State's fault.
BCS is no longer.
It is, man.
Jeff Woody, love you, man, but you screwed this up.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing any shade. It's just unfortunate that.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that we would be wishing that the BCS would be coming back?
Seriously, dude, because it's a mess, man. It's I don't know.
I mean, we might as well just kind of look into some of these games. Clemson SMU is probably the one outside of Iowa State. We can talk about Iowa State and Arizona State more in depth here shortly. And we're going to push that farther just because we actually have more interest and probably more knowledge on that game than probably any of the other ones. Clemson, SMU. Clemson has 3 losses. SMU has 1, and that 1 loss was to a BYU team who was at one point one of the last 3 or 4 undefeated teams in the country.
Yep.
Clemson, on the other hand, has some losses. Only one of the losses is to a team that's, I don't think, ranked anymore. I don't think Louisville's ranked.
Yeah.
So
they're not.
That would be considered a bad loss. I also would. They have a close loss against South Carolina, which
shout out the Cox.
Shout out the Cox. But they have a very bad loss. I don't care where they were ranked or what the team name is. 34-3 loss to Georgia is really bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I was looking at Clemson's schedule the other day. And this is why I kind of got worked up because I saw I don't even know this guy's name, but like I just saw someone's like playoff prediction. Like it's obviously like Oregon, Texas, SMU at the 3, or not SMU at the 3. No, it would have been Boise at the 3, but then Clemson at the 4.
Yep.
And I was like, how in the world is a 3-loss Clemson team jumping? Which I know we just talked about it. So then I was like looking in depth at Clemson's schedule, and maybe you can maybe double check me on this. But I don't think they have a single ranked win all year.
They don't have a ranked win. They'll have one ranked win if they win.
If they win this, yeah. Meanwhile, Iowa State or Arizona State would have multiple.
And SMU is not getting the credit that they probably deserve. So
yes, they're not
devaluing the ranked win that Clemson's going to have, but it doesn't matter because everybody loves Clemson's brand. So if they beat a ranked team, it doesn't matter who they are. It's a great win.
Yeah. I will be very upset next week if Clemson does win and they get a first round bye, because
I'll go on record right now. And say if Clemson wins the ACC championship, they will get a bye.
They probably will. It's a joke. Just because of their name.
Clip this right now, chat.
Clip it, chat. Yeah.
If Clemson wins the ACC championship, which I do feel like is a very good possibility because I do think that they are a good team. SMU is a good team. I really think that this game's going to be fun to watch.
Yep.
But if and when Clemson wins, we will be coming back to this, and Clemson will be having a bye in the college football playoff. And either the Big 12 or the Mountain West Conference Championship that winner will be getting punished and be going on the road.
Yeah. I'm ready for it, man.
So
it's going to happen.
All we need to do is have SMU win, obviously. So go Ponies.
Go Ponies and go UNLV. So,
but you look at this game, SMU, first year. And this is another big trend. True. A lot of first-year teams in conference championship scenarios. You got Arizona State in the Big 12, Texas in the SEC, Oregon in the Big 10, SMU in the ACC. I mean, what a year it is for the first-year teams, and a lot of these teams were not projected to be in this scenario.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona State was supposed to pick the last, and now they're in the Big 12. That's nuts.
Get rid of the preseason polls for conferences, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's so bad.
Anymore.
Yeah, it's so hard. Well, I mean, Utah was supposed to run the Big 12, and look at where they're at. So
was Oklahoma State.
Yeah, that is another. Yeah, that's crazy to talk about too. But kind of weird.
But getting back to this Clemson Tiger SMU Mustang matchup, I really do think that Clemson matches up pretty well against this SMU team. The spread is -2 right now in favor of SMU, at least according to ESPN Bet. I don't know what the spread is everywhere else, but I cannot talk today. Cade Klubnik is someone that I actually think is a really good quarterback, and I've been saying that since he got one of his first starts as a college football player. Back when I was doing this podcast with our previous co-host, and I said that he could be a potential Heisman candidate one day, and quietly he's had a very good season. 3,000 yards passing, almost 30 touchdowns, sitting at 29 right now, and only 5 interceptions with a QBR rating of 80, which is 12th in the nation. So Cade Klubnik's played really well. He's going to have to continue his success that he's had this season. I mean, last game didn't have a touchdown, but had 280 yards. And that's just credit to South Carolina's defense, really, for holding Clemson to only 14 points. But he's had multiple games with multiple touchdowns, had 4 touchdowns. I mean, again, Clemson's schedule, you got to take it with a grain of salt. It's not necessarily the most tough, aggressive and most tough one. Like App State, I think, fired their coach this week. 5 touchdowns. Stanford.
Yeah.
We all know what Stanford football's looked like the last couple of years. 4 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns against Virginia. So the one thing to point out against teams that were ranked, or I guess teams that they've lost against, he's had 1 total touchdown.
Yeah.
So statistically he's had a really good season, but against opponents that Clemson has lost, he has not thrown for more than 1 touchdown. That 1 touchdown was against Louisville. For other games, Georgia, he went 142 yards against Georgia, 1 interception. And then against South Carolina, 280 yards, 1 interception. So he's able to get the ball moving, just can't find the end zone. So Clemson's able to find the end zone. I think that Clemson, and I do believe that Clemson's going to come out with a victory.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for this game to see how SMU's offense matches up against Clemson's defense. I think that's going to kind of be the side of the ball I'm looking forward to watching, just because SMU with was it Kevin? I always forget his first name. Yeah, Kevin Jennings. Only a sophomore, by the way, too, which is kind of crazy, but he's been having a ridiculous year. And yeah, SMU is just putting up insane numbers. But Clemson, they always got a good defense, man. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to kind of how that side of the ball plays out, because obviously something's got to give. So,
and another thing about Cade Klubnik, he is able to make up for maybe the lack of passing touchdowns with rushing touchdowns. He's a sneaky, decent mobile quarterback. For sure. He had a couple breakaway touchdowns this season. I think he had 1 for like 50 yards against Pitt a couple weeks ago. Had 2 touchdowns on the ground against South Carolina. So he is able to score against these ranked teams, but it's more on the ground. This SMU team knows that. He's going to be able to run the ball. So if you can stop him there, SMU has a good chance of coming out with the victory. But Clemson can find a way to get the ball in the end zone against a ranked team through the air. I don't see and maybe this is me feeding into what the media wants. I don't believe that SMU is a good team in terms of being able to compete with Clemson just off of championship experience.
For sure. Yeah. I think it should obviously be a great game. I don't know if you saw, Brock, like the one thing I did see on Twitter today was like, was it SMU's like graphic or whatever, was basically like them. I wish I had it for you right now.
Let me look it up.
Or yeah, you look it up, but it was basically like them like taking on, like, I don't know if it was like a mountain or whatever, but it was like an Arctic like theme and stuff. And I'm like, since when is like Charlotte, North Carolina like supposed to be like a blizzard or something? Like, am I missing something? Is it gonna snow this weekend or?
That's a good question. Was it their football team? Oh geez. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, wait a minute, what? I did not realize like the game was being played in like.
Let's see if I can pull this up.
North Dakota or something. I don't know.
It's in North Carolina, right? The championship game.
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Yeah. I mean, unless they're expecting snow or something, maybe I'm missing.
Let's see here.
I saw the graphic was weird.
Doesn't say high of 50. So,
I don't know.
Maybe it's the idea of having to climb the mountain to get to the college football playoff because everybody's doubting on them. I guess I'm on record for saying, because I really think that Clemson's going to come out with the victory. So first comment, that's kind of hilarious. First comment is, did the game get moved to Alaska?
Yeah, I think I did see that. Yes. Yeah. I know. I'm just like, okay.
So I guess as a whole, I mean, Jennings is a great guy for SMU, so maybe he'll be able to keep them in the game. I just think that there's too much. I don't know. I just feel really good about Clemson, and I really think that the playoff committee is going to put them at that 3 or 4 seed. So I'm going to go with Clemson. Who do you got winning?
Yeah, I don't know. This is seriously a toss-up for me. I'm probably going to take the approach of the storyline, the WWE approach. I'm probably going to roll with Clemson as well. Not because I think SMU is a bad team at all. I think it's going to fit too perfectly that this Clemson team somehow gets in the playoffs and they'll somehow get an automatic bye. Like I can't get it out of my head now. So I just feel like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
No disrespect to SMU at all. They're a great football team. It's more of just, I can see the storyline happening. So yeah.
I completely agree. I mean, since we started with one of the last games on Saturday, we might as well just work our way back on Saturday's schedule. Oregon versus Penn State. I mean, I don't know if we need to spend too much time talking about this because it's not really the winner is going to get a bye. The second one's probably going to be the 5 or 6 seed. They're going to host a game in the playoffs either way. Penn State, though, you look at them, they have one loss in the year, and the one loss is to Ohio State. They have played one ranked team outside of that, and that was Illinois when Illinois was ranked, and they won 21-7. And if I remember right, that game was a little closer than expected. Like it was closer, and then ended up. Let me look to confirm, but it ended up being
it was. I remember watching that game.
Yep, Penn State scored 2 touchdowns in the second half.
It was like in the fourth quarter. But it was close.
But you look at them. Close game against Bowling Green at home, 34-27 was the final score of that one. 33-30 at USC. They've had some close games against some teams.
They almost lost to like Minnesota too. I was watching that game, and they just don't. I don't know.
How good is this Penn State team?
Yeah,
they're 11-1, but I guess because they have, again, going back to the names and brands,
exactly,
because they're a Big Ten team. They're getting shaped up to be one of the best teams in the country. And maybe they might be. They might be. But you got to remember who their head coach is. And I've been saying it. He's got to be able to prove me wrong at some point.
Yeah.
And until then, I'm going to keep siding with the opposing teams in big games against James Franklin. So I'm going Oregon. I think Oregon actually might win by 2 or 3 touchdowns. I think that they're going to establish – this is going to be an opportunity for Oregon to be like, we are the top dog in the country, and to be able to win the national championship this year, you're going to have to beat us in order to even be considered in that realm.
Yeah, I'm probably with you there too, Brock. I mean, heck, we wouldn't even be talking about Penn State if it wasn't for Ohio State pooping their pants against Michigan. So
I still can't believe that they did that.
I cannot believe that either. That's crazy, man. We wouldn't be here talking about Penn State right now. So.
Is Ryan Day back next year?
He should not be, but
I
don't know.
What will it take for him to be back next year? Because I think if they lose the opening round, he's gone. But I don't even know if making it to the quarterfinals is good enough.
Good enough. Yeah, you might have to make the semis or just win it all at this point. Because I mean, losing to Michigan 4 years in a row, I don't know how they're going to tolerate that.
And here's the thing. I think he shut it down today. But there was some rumors circulating about a former Ohio State coach considering getting back into the realm of coaching.
No, there's no way.
He shut it down today.
Yeah,
but I'm
that'd
just
be
saying,
crazy.
Money talks, man. Money talks.
That'd be nuts if that did happen.
Would be. I'm not gonna lie, and I hate Ohio State with every bone in my body, but it would be kind of funny if they fire Ryan Day, they hire Urban Meyer, and the first year they win the national championship.
Natty, yeah.
It's like Urban was the guy this entire time, but no,
Lou Holtz would lose his mind.
If and when Ryan Day is no longer the coach at Ohio State, I can't wait to see Lou Holtz's reaction.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna need a reaction out of him.
But I'm gonna go. Are you going Oregon as well? Then I guess I think you said that.
I think I'm kind of surprised at how short that line is too.
3.5 seems like a.
Yeah, I think Oregon covers that. To be honest,
rat line, if anything.
Yeah.
The next game on Saturday, or I guess the second game on the actual schedule on Saturday, 3:00, you got the SEC Championship, Georgia versus Texas. Big news out today. Bevo will not be making an appearance. I think it's some rule with the stadium.
Wow, really?
I think it's the rule with the stadium. Let me look it up to confirm. But Bevo will not be making an appearance because of.
Hasn't Uga been in attendance for Georgia games in the past, or am I just?
Yes, I think he's been in attendance, but the SEC denied.
Longhorn, I guess.
SEC denied their request because of the stadium, I think. And a little nugget here. The national championship's in the same stadium.
Oh, it's in Atlanta this year.
So Bevo won't be able to be in the national championship if Texas is there.
I'm writing Texas off right now.
I'm telling you, if they make it that far, I don't know if I can take them.
No. Wow, that's a game changer. I did not know that. Okay, Brock.
Spread, interesting enough, is Texas minus 2.5 against the Georgia team.
Okay.
That won 30-15 earlier this year.
Yeah.
Is that? I'm a little shocked. I'm not going to lie.
That Texas is favored?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think I think they're going off a record? They have to be, right?
I think so as well. Yeah. Plus, they also might be going off of like recency bias. I
guess.
Which that Georgia game was crazy, by the way. If you guys did not watch that, same game. Tech. Yeah, Georgia Tech. Joe Tessitore made it very clear that Georgia is in the playoffs now. If you weren't watching that game, don't get me started on that. That was pathetic.
He's a great wrestling announcer. I'll just say that.
Yeah, that's fine. Not when he works for ESPN, man, not great. But yeah, anywho, I am shocked by that a little bit, Brock. I think they are going off the record though. I guess while I'm here, I think Georgia actually wins again. I'm gonna go out and say it. I don't know. I think Texas is good. I was really high on them at the beginning of the year, man. I was, but like, I don't know. I have a feeling Georgia Kirby gets it done, man. And I got Georgia winning this.
It's in Georgia, man.
Yep, it's in Georgia.
If you can't beat Georgia at your home stadium, you lost by multiple touchdowns. How am I supposed to believe that you're going to be able to pull it off in Georgia? And I don't think people realize, yes, Georgia at their home stadium, they have a great home field advantage. But when there's an actual championship on the line, at least what I've seen in the past with the SEC championship games, you see how loud that crowd gets for the Bulldogs. Even when Alabama was there, maybe Texas will be able to travel well and it'll be even both ways. But
it probably will.
It gets loud for Georgia. And dude, I
think just going off of like last year as well, like them like literally losing to Bama cost them a spot in the playoffs. I think they're going to be locked in this year and on a mission. So
yeah. And I mean, so there will be a 3-loss SEC team that probably gets into it. If Georgia loses, I think there's a scenario where Alabama doesn't make it, because I don't know if you can let 2 3-loss SEC teams into the college football playoff.
Yeah.
But
no, they'll find a way.
Yeah. I was going to say, but money talks. So
yeah.
But the winner of this will probably be the 2 seed in the college football playoffs. And you know what? Rightfully so.
Yep.
The winner of this will get the 2 seed. I'm probably going to go Georgia as well.
Nice.
Texas has won the Big 12. They won the Big 12 last year. Everybody thought that this is going to be the spark that Texas needed to get back to relevancy. And they have proven themselves that they have been able to get back to the level of Texas football that everybody kind of imagined them being, even though they've only have, I think, 1 national championship since I was born. But anyways,
I had to throw that in there.
Yeah. Anyways, they haven't been in an SEC championship game. And again, Big 12, the special thing about college football, each conference has its own feel to its championship games.
Yep.
SEC championship games in the SEC tournament for basketball comes nowhere close to a Big 12 championship in the Big 12 tournament in Kansas City.
Yeah, for sure.
Big 10 football, smash mouth football, doesn't come close to the environment that the SEC championship game has. This, while it's not as important this year, because again, the loser is going to host a college football playoff game anyways. I do think that there's going to be a lot of intensity in this game. Give me Georgia to win, just because I don't think Texas has been in a championship environment like that, except for the playoffs, which, I mean, we've seen Texas play in the playoffs.
How'd last year go?
Yeah. So I'm going to go with the Bulldogs. Texas have an opportunity, though, to prove a lot of people, including myself, wrong. I just think the fact that they're favored is just weird. I would take Georgia either way.
Yeah.
But give me the Bulldogs in that situation. Give me Uga to come out with that victory.
That's right.
Gonna eat some beef, man. But I mean, do we want to talk about the Friday games? Boise.
I think
do you
we're fine.
think Boise State's gonna win though?
I think Boise State is the better team. I know that game was pretty close first time. I think Boise gets it done. And
the fact that it's a home game, I feel like it's going to be hard to play against.
I will say I do think that Tulane Army game's kind of whack. That Tulane is a 5-point favorite at Army. I think that's a little interesting.
I will say someone was either Chris Williams or Chris Hassel. I can't remember who. Okay. They mentioned the last time that Tulane played an offense similar to that. I think they said it was Navy. They played a couple weeks ago. They won 35-0.
That's why. Okay.
That would be why.
Guess I'm going to be taking Tulane on the road.
I think they're saying Army is a better team than Navy, which we will see soon. We will see literally next week.
We will.
Whether or not Army is better than Navy. True. But they're also taking into consideration that Tulane is or has beaten a team that with a similar offense, and killed them.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the game that I wanted to talk about, and we might not get into college basketball talk, which I'm sorry. I know you want to probably talk about college basketball.
Well, it's okay. I already talked about it with Hunter last night, so we're good.
Okay. Iowa State, Arizona State. This is probably the biggest conference championship game because the win for either of these teams punches their ticket to the college football playoff. We think. I don't.
I would hope so.
It wouldn't shock me if somehow I don't know. I just don't trust the committee as far as I can throw them. And I was never a quarterback, so I can't throw.
Same here.
Arizona State, Iowa State. Before we get into this, and I told you not to look this up because I know you hadn't seen it. Let's play a guessing game. How many players from Iowa State made the first team All Big 12 selection for both offense and defense combined?
The first team?
First team.
Offense and oh gosh, dude. All right. Give me a sec here. Offense and defense. Wait, how many how many like wide receivers get put on there?
3 wide receivers make it.
3? Okay. Probably. And in defense, probably that'd be 1. I'll say like 2.
That's too much.
2 is too much. Okay.
So we have one person make
1
first team All Big 12.
I take it was Higgins.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
How is it not Higgins? Who was it?
It was Jalen Knoll, and it wasn't even for wide receiver. It was for kick return, which he tied with someone else.
Are you?
I'm not.
You have a graphic of this right now?
Yeah. I'll show you it right now.
How? How is Higgins not first team? Who are these other wide receivers? That's what I'm. How? Okay. Oh gosh, Chase. Let's use your eyeballs here.
I'll zoom in here.
Okay.
1 sec.
What?
Let me find the best screen.
Kick return for Jalen Knoll. I mean, you can even argue. Okay, who?
So the quarterback was Shadur, which I mean, Scadaboo got the running back. Also, RJ Harvey from UCF. I think you can make an argument for, what's Kansas's guy's name? Neal.
Yeah, Devin Neal. Yeah, he's a beast.
I think he's the best running back in the Big 12. Skill wise. McMillan from Arizona, I can understand. Travis Hunter. I think the reason Travis Hunter got it is because he's up for Heisman and because of how many snaps he plays. He has the stats, has over 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns.
I guess I do get, I guess I get Jordan Tyson too. That guy was a beast for Arizona State.
But you're telling me Higgins.
Even though he's out, but that's so tough, man. Dang.
Jalen Knoll made
the kick. What's the defense look like? Do you have that one?
Yes, I got you.
I'm kind of surprised none of Iowa State's secondary made it.
You mean the third best secondary in the country?
Yeah.
Statistically. So here's the defense. We're scrolling through here on our video feed. Tyler Beatty, defensive line for BYU. Dante Colorone, defensive line for Cincinnati.
Where's my boy Dominique Orange?
BJ Green, amen. From Colorado, Brendan Mott from K-State, TJ
Two
Jackson
Baylor
Jr.,
linebackers. All
two
right.
linebackers from Baylor, Matt Jones and Keaton Thomas, another linebacker from Texas Tech,
Travis
Jacob
Hunter.
Rodriguez, Travis Hunter, strictly because he's a Heisman candidate. I truly believe that's the only reason.
I'm excited to see how this Xavier Alford guy does against Iowa State's offense. He's so good. So
for Arizona State, yep, he got a
can't wait to see this
selection. Kobe Bryant from K-State, I can see he usually is pretty good.
That guy is very good.
I don't know statistically what he's been like this year.
Two Kansas DBs as well. All right,
that's something that stuck out to me as well. Iowa State is the number one, I think, team in the Big 12 in terms of passing defense. And so the fact that they didn't get one selection on here,
wow!
I just wanted to bring this up to you again. I don't really care.
I don't care. I kind of like this though, Brock. I kind of like this going into conference championship week. Get some little chip on your shoulder.
Just wanted to talk a little bit about that before we get into the game.
I have not seen the come.
Iowa State, goes up against Arizona State, who has 1, 2, 3 people on the first team all offense and one person on the first team. So four players total on the first team, all Big 12 team. One of them, I will say, will not, and it's unfortunate for Arizona State, will not be playing this weekend. We're talking about Jordan Tyson for Arizona State. Will not be playing for them due to an injury, which, if you're Arizona State, one thing that Haycock has been really good at is playing against a team that is one-dimensional.
Yes, for sure. Well, I saw something on Twitter the other day. And I was telling Chad this, that I think Iowa State after Saturday, we will have faced and you probably saw this, we'll face like 5 of the top 10 best running backs in the nation. And like our record right now is like 3-1 against them.
Yep.
So obviously Scatterboot, I mean, that guy's a dog, man. He's an animal.
And I will say, statistically, if you look at Iowa State's schedule against those teams, he's going to have a good game.
Yeah, he probably will have a good game. But, I mean, you can't just be one-dimensional.
No, not in a conference championship game. And it's unfortunate because you look at their statistics. Tyson, for them, 7 receptions, 1,101 yards, averages 14.7 yards per carry, 10 touchdowns in the year. The next guy on their top receiving list is Cam Scatterboot, and he doesn't even have 500 receiving yards. And he only has 2 touchdowns.
They struggle passing the ball. I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to go.
And their quarterback, looking at his rushing yards, only has 350 yards on the ground, which, I mean, isn't bad for a quarterback, but it's not something necessarily to worry about as much compared to playing like K-State or, some of the other teams Iowa State has played in the past couple weeks.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Maybe I'm just really biased, Brock, but I'm feeling good about this game, dude. I really am. I think like 2020, man, obviously would have loved to see him get it, but I just feel like Campbell's just on a mission now, man. He's been here before. Like literally what we were saying too, like Arizona State's coach, like literally looks up to Matt Campbell. I just don't feel like you can lose this now. Like this guy's literally looking up to you. Like I don't know. I just feel like the storyline and just everything that's kind of going on this season, man. And I know Arizona State's been a fun story, but I think it ends here finally. Iowa State, I really think it's time that Iowa State like flip the switch, man. And starts, I don't know.
No mercy.
Yes.
If you have the opportunity to run up the score, I'm telling you, dude, just do it.
Just do it because the committee will try to screw you over. So.
And I'm not going
to lie. This is like the NBA Cup.
This is one of those games where you look at the quarterback and you go, who do you trust more in big time situations?
Mm-hmm.
And while there are still people that are Iowa State fans that are hesitant on putting trust into Rocco Beck.
Yeah.
There is not a quarterback in the Big 12 that I would trust that is not named Rocco Beck. I'm taking Rocco 100 times out of 100. in the Big 12 in a big time situation because he has been there before multiple times this season alone.
True.
Led some big drives. Heck, the play that he had with Jalen Noel that set up the game-winning field goal against Iowa.
Yep.
That won't be on the highlight reels at the end of the year, but it may have been the biggest play of the season for Iowa State. Yep. Or, you talk
about the UCF game. Utah game.
He took over multiple possessions, and everybody's going to talk about, and again, great play drawn up by Mauser to run that little pitch play to Hanson, throw the ball.
Mistake. Yep.
But Rocco helps put you in those situations where you can play those or run those plays because everybody's looking at Rocco in those big time situations. So when you do give it to someone else,
they're like, oh
shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this defense.
Let's go.
This defense, man, is so fun to watch. I know that they had some very bad games, and I can see why some people are still a little hesitant going into this week, especially when you're going up against a really good running back in Scadaboo. Scadaboo is probably my favorite player in college football this year that doesn't play for Iowa State.
Yeah.
So I can see why people are a little nervous. However, the effort plays from the secondary this year has also set up Iowa State to win games.
Yes.
Yep. Is Verdon playing this weekend?
I'm not sure. It's always fun with college football, man. You never have any idea what's going on.
Well, Campbell he's
not going to tell you.
He's not going to tell you. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, he's working his way back." And when I hear that, I automatically think the guy's 6 feet under and he's dead.
Yeah, he just tore his ACL or something. Yeah.
I don't even know if Bramer's alive. Honestly, I haven't seen him.
Dude, it's so incredible, man. Like the Iowa State's even in the situation, like literally, like so many games throughout the year, we didn't even have enough guys on defense to have like a scout team. Like, do you know how crazy that sounds, man? And now this team's in a Big 12 championship game, like.
And that's the thing, and we got Will McDonald back.
Yes, yeah. Wait,
that's the thing. I don't think a lot of people are. He played last weekend.
Oh, I thought you said Will McDonald. I was like,
oh, did I? Wait, yeah, I did.
Shoot. Oh, that's okay. I was like, wait, he's back? I didn't know he was a Cyclone again. Let's go.
Will McDonald, damn it.
That's okay.
I wish he was back.
Yes.
Will McLaughlin. Mother.
Yeah. It's okay, dude.
Almost cursed for the first time on this podcast.
You should have, man.
Will McDonald. Damn, I wish Will McDonald was back. But anyways, Will McLaughlin is going to be the guy that I don't think a lot of people are talking about heading into this game. Because he hasn't played much this season.
Yeah.
Now until what, the last 2 games?
I think so. Yeah. But having him back is huge.
Nobody talked about it when he came back in. Everybody's like, oh, he's back. Okay.
He's back, yeah. Okay.
And so maybe Arizona State has figured that out and they're putting all their focus on trying to find a way to get around him. But then you got other linebackers like Sadowski, who was a true freshman last year, now has been forced into a position where he's had to play a lot.
Yep.
And he's made some huge plays in huge games for Iowa State.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah, just next man up mentality, and they've been great, man.
Damn. So, I'm gonna beat myself up over saying Will McDonald. Damn.
I was like,
I'm happy that you corrected me on that though.
That's okay. I thought I heard something too. Maybe, I don't know.
If his name was William McLaughlin and not Will McLaughlin, I would have gotten that mixed up because not only is his name Mick McLaughlin, McDonald, damn it.
It's okay, Brock. You're just thinking about Iowa State legend Will McDonald. I don't blame you.
Yes, sir. He needs to get off the freaking Jets.
Yeah, he does. A lot of those guys do. But
free my boys.
Yeah, we could use them.
But you got other players on the defense. Bo Freeler, he's played really well all year. He is due for a huge, memorable play. That senior moment that just etches yourself in the history books of a certain team. He is due for that.
He's going to make it up for Isham Young getting thrown out in the 2020 game. That's still a load of BS to this day. He's going to make it up for him.
I'm not going to lie. I even hate that you put that in the universe.
Oh, sorry, Brock, to bring that back up. I'm still petty
juju.
over it.
That's bad juju, man.
I'm still petty over it.
I'm superstitious, man. I'm
petty. I keep receipts, man. I keep receipts for a long time. So.
Jalen Knoll, dude, retweeted the first team All Big 12 thing and wrote a little like the writing emoji.
He did. See, he keeps receipts. We keep receipts around here, man. I don't forget that type of stuff. So,
but we got a couple more minutes here. Obviously we're probably both going Iowa State to win this game. We're not going to pick against our clones. But man, I hope next time we're talking about Iowa State winning their first Big 12 championship ever.
Amen, dude.
A lot of games that we've watched that
been through a lot, man.
Been through a lot, and honestly, we're even still one of the more luckier generations because there's
true, yeah.
I'm thinking about like our grandparents' age right now. Those people, that's what this game is all about. Is getting that generation the opportunity to see them finally win a conference championship.
Yes,
because man, they have been through some terrible seasons. We've been through some terrible seasons. But they've been through it a lot longer, a
lot worse. Yeah,
and so it's about all that. And I mean, you know me, I have fought people over whether or not Rocco is the real deal for a couple of years now, even before he started. I remember
still are fighting people, man.
I remember sending you a text, or no, we were at the game together. Who did we play in that FCS game the year that Deckers was the starter?
Oh gosh.
Southeast Missouri State.
Oh yeah, SEMO. That's
Deckers,
right.
Deckers. We won 42-10. They put Rocco in. You remember the two throws that he had to the end zone that were called for pass interference?
I think I do. Yes. Yeah, I do.
And I remember looking at you. I was like, dude, this guy can throw. Like,
this guy's good.
And obviously at that time we were like, oh, I got to give Deckers a chance. And things happened. But when Rocco was given, when the moves were made and Rocco was probably going to be the QB1, I told you, I was like, dude, this guy's the real deal. And so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that he can pull it off. I'm hoping for you too, dude. If they win, I need you to like record like the final play or something. I need to see you and your boy. I need to see Chad's reaction. I'm
gonna cry, dude. I'll try to. I'm not really the type of generation that get their phone out.
I might FaceTime you. I might just have to do that and see if I can get connection in Jerry's world, or I'll FaceTime Chad. I want to get his live reaction on that.
Yeah, I know. I might cry. I want a Brahms like bacon cheeseburger in my hand, dude, and just
Brahms.
That'd be perfect. I know. Right. That's what I that's all I'm thinking about. Coming home after the Clones win the Big 12 championship, got my bacon cheeseburger and a strawberry shake, man.
I might need to send a text and tell people I'm not coming this weekend and I'm going to Dallas.
Brahms,
you said Brahms, and I'm like, oh, I'm all in.
Rock is in now.
Oh man. Well, it's good episode. I mean, I hope by the time that we're talking again, we're talking about the Clones winning the Big 12 championship. When is the college football playoff rankings like actually come out officially for the final one?
That is a good question. I am not 100% sure. You could look it up real quick. We got like
Let's see. December 8th, so this weekend.
So is that Sunday?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. Yep, Sunday. Okay. Sunday.
So,
I think that's when the rest of the bowl games probably come out, right?
I think so too. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, hey, what time is that at? Maybe, I'm not going to bank on it. Maybe we do a live show if you're back in Iowa by then, or if you're not dead tired.
I might be sleeping, but we'll see.
Maybe we'll do a quick episode on Monday night just to get, just because it'll be relevant around that time. We can talk about that, and then we can preview the best rivalry of Army Navy.
Navy, that's right.
So yeah, great episode. Go Clones, man.
That's right,
cheer them loud. I don't know why I was doing that, horns down, but
we'll try.
We'll see everybody next week. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to watch all of our episodes. Hardwood Convos. I don't know if they're doing a Sports Nerds episode. I know I can't make it this week, but maybe they'll have one out sometime tomorrow as well. But enjoy the games, and as always, roll Clones.